This is the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mosen.
Happy Monday, folks. It's great to be back here again, and it's always wonderful having you here with me. Pat, how are you today?
I am just terrific, Sarah. Today is April 14th, one day before we have to send Uncle Sam any additional taxes, and I do have to send him a little more tax, so I'm holding on to it to the last minute. But I'm very happy, too, to mention that today in the studio with us, Sarah, is my daughter, Jamie.
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome, Jamie.
And Jamie has been working with you, Sarah, and she and her husband Brian are excited that you got them pre-approved. And Jamie, would you just talk about the process? Was it long? Was it hard?
Well, my husband and I, we've never been through this process before, but we weren't sure if pre-approval was something that was possible for us. But Sarah certainly made it very easy, went through it with us, just asked for the necessary documents. We got those over to her, and then she was able to get us an answer pretty soon. Actually, in fact, we had a little bit of work to do in order to get to that pre-approval, but Sarah was kind and considerate and was able to show us those things that we needed to change. But eventually we got there, but not too long. Maybe I think maybe it only took maybe an additional 3-4 weeks to feel like that the pre-approval came through.
Yeah, that's great. And that is, we've talked about it on the program before, Sarah,
Right.
about sometimes, people call and they think, nope, we can't make it happen because of this or that. And you can say, no, we can change that. And sometimes it's as simple as your debt ratio or some old debt that you need to take care of, and we're not going to get into specifics at all with Jamie and Brian. They were newly married, and you counseled them. And they're pre-approved, and they've been looking around at houses, right,
yes.
Jamie?
Yeah, we're actually looking at another one tonight.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah,
Exciting.
so it's beautiful. So let's hope that we both love it. It's hard because we'll be first-time buyers. Well, I will be. My husband won't be, but I will be. And so we want to find that house that we both love, but at this point of our lives, we certainly can't afford that $500,000 home or the $1 million home where we don't want to be house poor.
Right. That's a big thing. And as I've said, Pat, like working with Jamie, it was a real pleasure because at the end of the day, the pre-approval, it takes 24 hours. And then, when you're a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of things that you need to figure out as well, like the credit report. And you want to make sure you're not house poor, like you said, Jamie. You want to make sure that you can have fun with that first home and obviously not worry about the mortgage payment. And I feel privileged that you did come to us and that you trusted us with such a very important decision. So I can't thank you enough for that, and I'm grateful that you did come to us for that.
Oh, well, you're very welcome, of course. And so now we just need to find the house. I thought the pre-approval was going to be the hard part. Now, at least now it's springtime, so our realtor is saying that there's going to be so much more homes on the market that the market is just going to be flooded. So we're really looking forward to seeing what's out there because I think it's been pretty sparse during the winter. So hopefully we will find our home and you'll be doing more work for us.
Well, it's a fun process because, as I've said before, there's such a great deal of joy when you see, folks go out looking for properties and then moving into your first home. So I'm sure it's a really exciting time right now because, you're pre-approved. All you have to do now is to look for that home. And I've always said, take your time, because you want to make sure that you have the right home. The rates are low right now, so it's a great time to buy, Jamie, as you know. And then also, most importantly, get that home inspection done to make sure that there are no issues.
Yep.
Because once you get into that home, if there are issues and you didn't actually do the home inspection, then you're going to be stuck with those issues. So that's a very big thing. And certainly we're here to be of service. And I have a big smile on my face, Pat, because your daughter is delightful. She is, and it's a fun time to start looking for that home.
She is delightful.
Hey,
yes.
Sarah, how long? So we got pre-approved. I think it was beginning of February. Is there a clock that is ticking that our pre-approval lasts for, or?
Unless there's a change in your actual income, let's say there should be a change in the income decreasing, or there's a change or shift in, literally speaking, the credit score that we should be aware of, it is fine. And certainly it's not like an interest rate. Like when you lock in an interest rate for your property, that typically can go up to 60 days, so it's locked, but you can't extend that rate beyond 60 days. So with your pre-approval, unless there's some huge adjustments with your credit score or income, if it decreases, you should be fine with that pre-approval.
Oh, nice. Actually, this brings me to another question that I had for you. I'm sorry. I just accepted a new job, which is actually going to pay more money.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. Actually, it's closer to home, which kind of expands our search area, which is even better because the more south that you go from the city, the more affordable homes seem to be. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to be making more money.
Right.
So I'm assuming that those are all positives.
They are positives. And I've said before, with job changes, it's also, is it something that is relatable to what you were doing before? Because that is something that lenders look at.
Yes.
Or is it dramatically different?
No, it's not. It's I was in public service before, and now I'm moving over to a nonprofit.
Right.
So
okay.
it's pretty similar, but it's a bigger salary. So I'm quite excited.
That's all good, believe me. And
our family of listeners are excited for you too, Jamie.
I know, this is really great news. And in this scenario, this is all, on the upside. So certainly it'll give you an opportunity. If the income is higher, you can maybe look at a higher loan amount. I always say be in that comfort zone and not extend yourself or overextend yourself with a property that may be too expensive, or even right at the edge of what your pre-approval is, because you want to have fun owning that home, and you certainly don't want to be under that level of anxiety wondering how you're going to make that mortgage payment.
Oh, don't worry. I am super frugal. My husband's the spender. He's like, let's do dinner. Let's do that. And I'm like, no, that money isn't really in the account.
Well, make sure you have enough rooms for Pat and I to move in.
Yes. And she's going to cook us dinner and have us over for dinner after she gets all settled. And Sarah, I know we've talked before about this, and maybe this is apropos for Jamie's situation, that there are situations like where the seller can assist even with some of the closing costs, right? Right.
There are situations where a buyer is purchasing a home and can actually ask for a seller's assist. So there can be a percentage of what we see with the mandatory state fees that are required when you purchase a home. Each state is different, and there's transfer stamps. There are items that will be outstanding that you will need to bring to closing, even if it's a 3.5% down loan. So essentially, I've always encouraged folks to make sure you ask the question and see what other options you have to minimize the closing costs. Our cost, obviously, which is really great, is that the lender pays us when we do the financing. So the buyer does not have to have any money out of pocket for us as the financing company.
And I think, I could be wrong, but I think in Massachusetts, I think the seller pays the majority of the fees anyways, which is kind of in the buyer's favor. If I'm not, I might be mistaken, but
actually the reality is that when you're purchasing a home, there is going to be that negotiation where you are going to have to pay certain items, unless that seller's assist is in place, where sometimes you miss that during the purchase agreement, and people do miss that and they don't realize it. Then you are going to miss that opportunity, and you have to negotiate with the seller to determine what they're willing to help you with. And the bottom line is, what's fun about this experience is that we're going to work with you throughout that process, as well as your real estate agent. So when the contract comes to you, and once you are looking at the numbers, you can negotiate before you finalize and sign on the dotted line.
Oh, good.
This is great news, and guess what? Marita is telling us we have to sign off for today. But I'm just delighted that Jamie was able to stop by and share, her great experience with you, Sarah. And let me just give out your phone number. Any questions, folks? Please give Sarah a call at 1-800-662-9550.
Thanks, Jamie, for coming on air, and stay well, folks.
This has been the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.